to another episode of Nobody Listens to Liz. I'm Leah Frederick.
I'm Liz Eric Dykes.
And I'm Sierra Peluso.
Welcome back, guys. We are just sitting here talking and actually been shooting the stuff. And we wanted to kind of just talk about what real estate agents want you to know. What do we want them to know? What are things that actually are burning, like, I wish you knew this?
I had one come up yesterday.
Yeah.
Inspections are not pass or fail.
Correct.
Yeah. People always say, well, I won't pass inspections. And I'm like, well, that's not exactly how I would word that.
How would you word it?
I would say it may pass or fail your personal inspection of it, not like...
Or lender. I mean, if you've
well,
got
then,
an appraisal or
well,
kind
and
of
they'll
mortgage.
call the appraiser, like, they do an inspection. And I'm like, no, they don't. Not like a home inspector does.
Yeah.
They do an appraisal.
Two different things.
Yeah.
The home inspection and then the appraisal.
Yeah.
Now, the appraisal for government programs like FHA, USDA, and stuff does have to meet certain guidelines.
Yes.
And the appraiser could call things out that you might think were inspection things. Like
Well, even
safety
conventional
issues.
does that.
Yeah.
I feel like recently they've called out a lot more than what they have like in the past.
Absolutely. They've really tightened down. And another crazy thing that they've tightened down on is the roof age. Like, if you can't prove that a roof is within 10 years old, they don't want to insure it. So now they're calling that out on appraisals and stuff. Like, 10 years is nothing for a
I
roof.
know.
Yeah.
I've always heard of 25, 30-year roofs. What's 10 years?
I know. They just think they won't be able to get the home insurance because home
just
insurance
don't make-
regulations are tighter.
They don't make anything to last nowadays.
Well, no.
Nothing.
Yeah. Don't make them like they used to.
No.
Which is why I have a 200-year-old house.
No, so I think it's a little bit different. It's not pass or fail for a home inspection, and you can get different inspections, right? You can have a whole home inspection that combs through the entire house. Their job is to tell you anything and everything that is currently or potentially wrong with the house, right? Or anything that's kind of at the end of life so that you know, any safety hazards, that kind of thing. You could do a wood-boring insect inspection, which most people call termite. So they look for wood-boring insects on the home and under the home. What else do we have? Sometimes we have cistern inspections, septic inspections.
Or like a sewer scope.
Yeah.
Radon.
I think the whole
Yeah.
inspection period is, people don't understand what that, that's the time when the buyer is checking out, see what their home interest or home insurance rates are going to be too. The sex offender, doing their due diligence to get to know the neighborhood and see if this is the house and the location and exactly what they want. So
I like so other states use due diligence period, and I think that is so much better than inspection period.
I was going to say,
because you can also do all these other things.
There's some areas of the country that you're supposed to do all that before you write a contract.
Yeah, before you make an offer.
I like to see them try, and the recent seller's market we had.
I know.
kind of
So
thing.
I'm like, do you not have 2 hours on the market then? 'Cause,
Yeah, I'm curious how that works.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you were from that neighborhood, you would already pretty much know.
Yeah, if you're an agent in a state that does like the due diligence period before the contract, please let us know how that works.
Right.
I'd love to.
Curious. We're very curious. So, all right. So we have the inspections and the whole pass-fail kind of fairy tale, which isn't true.
So you just have to decide as the buyer which inspections you want. Your agent should be able to help advise on what you should get, what you could consider getting, what's needed, what's not necessary. And then it's whether you're satisfied with those inspections, whether you move forward or renegotiate, right?
Satisfied.
So it's not pass or fail. It's whether you're okay with the findings or if you can reach a negotiation between the buyer and seller.
Yeah. Inspections are 100% for buyer's knowledge. No one else is going to pass or fail them. Like, that period is for your satisfaction.
I think it's important too with inspections particularly, and we should bring in, Chris Robinson, our inspector that is licensed here in Ohio and Kentucky.
Yeah, we've got a few we could talk to.
Yeah, we could talk to actually. So, because the whole idea of the inspections being a repair list too.
Yes, your home inspection is not a repair list for the sellers.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, again, there are some things that are just going to be general maintenance and maybe you don't have a GFCI in your bathroom, or outlet in your bathroom. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yep, my aunt actually just retired last month, and her and I were talking about this the other night, and it's like, yeah, you might as well just assume on your home inspection your GFCIs don't work, your anti-tipping device is not on your oven, and there were a few
Yeah.
other things that like just
assume
assume.
it's.
I think I saw that same clip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So other things that real estate agents want buyers and sellers to know: differences between modular and manufactured homes.
Yeah, that's a good
I
one.
have that come up a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Because there's lots of manufactured homes in Brown and Adams County.
Yeah, more rural areas.
And a lot of people don't understand the difference between them. They're
Well,
like,
why don't you
it's a
talk about that? What are the differences?
So a manufactured home is where it's brought in on a trailer.
Modular.
No, that's manufactured. Where it's brought in on a trailer. Like
Tell me more.
Half of the house. Like, and they just put it on a foundation and it has the steel beam under it. That's manufactured. Modular is where they build a piece of a wall off-site in a factory, and it's a very green process. And they bring that piece of a wall to the site and they build it. And modular, you don't see that on a tax website. It just becomes a stick-built single-family home, and that's how it's rated for taxes. Manufactured is rated differently on taxes.
Really?
They have different.
Tax
In
rate.
Ohio, I'm not sure on Kentucky.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure about
that's-
Kentucky
I'm
either.
not sure.
But in Ohio,
'Cause
yes.
We're not accountants.
So I feel like that's kind of, I have a little bit different perspective. So for manufactured, I think a double wide, they're bringing
Yeah.
two pieces of
Yeah.
a house and they're putting them together, or a single wide is a manufactured
Yeah.
house, which is more often called a mobile home.
Yes.
Because the mobile homes, the difference in them is they come with a title like a car. So you have to put it on a permanent foundation, whether it's a double wide or a mobile home. You have to put it on a permanent foundation, convert it to real estate, and then it becomes a sellable piece of real
Right.
estate.
Otherwise, you would just be selling land with a camper on it.
Right. I mean, yeah, no bank is going to
Yeah.
They're not going to
send
loan
you a
on it.
mortgage if it has
No.
wheels.
Yeah.
Yes.
It could be
Or-
towed away. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. But modular, I think of the houses that, I don't know how else to say it other than modular, but they come in pieces. So
Yeah.
like there might be 6 pieces to the house, there might be 10 pieces to the house, there might be,
By the way, the dogs are here today because my back gate is open and being repaired. So that's what you hear, the clip, clip, clip. Come here, girls. It was just Vonda. Stop it.
yeah, but I do, so I guess I think of them differently, or maybe I'm just saying it differently. That
You're
I feel
saying
like
it differently.
They're coming in on a truck. They both come in on a truck,
Yeah.
right? But
I think the biggest difference is modular. When it's finished, it's a single family home.
yeah,
And, I mean,
stick built.
yes.
Sick bill. Right.
And it's rated the same.
any
Insurance is
other
the
house.
same as any other house.
Yes.
And it doesn't necessarily depreciate. And as far as getting a loan on it, it's the same as any other house.
Yes.
Manufactured, double wide or single wide, they don't necessarily depreciate, but the older they get, the harder it can be to get loans on them.
Get loans on.
Especially government loans, yes.
Yeah.
And they don't hold their value as much. So if
Yeah.
you're thinking about investing in a home or real estate, the mobile homes, the manufactured homes do not hold as much value typically, at least in Ohio and Kentucky,
Yeah.
as a stick-built home
Right.
does.
Right. Right.
And as far like when you look at an appraisal, the comps they're supposed to use is all other manufactured homes.
Right. Right.
So-
We just came across
We were talking
comps.
about that last
Oh,
night.
no, comps that it was we had a stick built as the subject property.
And they were using
And they were
manufactured.
using a double wide, yes.
No,
As a
thank
comp.
And not
Doesn't
that there's
work.
anything wrong with them. I mean, they're
No.
great.
No, they are.
They're a
really
they're
nice
a wonderful
these days.
housing
Yes.
solution.
And nowadays, some of them they're made with the same material as
Yeah.
a stick-built house.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so
And we're back. And we're back with Nobody Listens to Liz. We had a small little commercial break there, primarily because the dogs had to go out. But we're back talking about what real estate agents really want buyers and sellers to know. And we were talking about the difference between modular and manufactured homes, that inspections are not perfect or
They're not a
Well,
punch
they're
list.
not.
and they're not pass fail. We can
Has
al-
anybody ever had a perfect home inspection with nothing on it?
Yes.
What? Really?
What kind of
Yeah,
house
it
is
was,
this?
It was. There
What kind
was
of inspector?
nothing like.
I was going to say I would be questioning the inspector's
It was
competence.
just a very well maintained house.
Really?
Was it pre-inspected before the listing?
I don't remember. Because honestly, I don't even remember which house it was. I just remember being like, wow,
What?
I've never seen an inspection this
I
clean.
mean, I've had one
This
where
is
it had few
wild.
things on it, and
Yeah.
I was like, you can tell they
well, I
maintained
mean,
it
it's,
really well.
even if it's clean, it's still 50 pages. You know?
Well, yes, that's true.
Because they got to be like, check to everything.
They have to
Yeah.
terrify you.
But it was like, there was nothing.
Have you guys ever had a property where the inspector was like,
Run as fast as you can. Yeah,
yeah,
Kind of.
plenty of them actually. I used to have a really good inspector. He's retired now, Dale Mays. He was wonderful. But especially when it was like a lot of bank owns and stuff years ago, he'd be like, your people probably might want to keep looking. I mean, I can give them the list, but they're going to be terrified. Would you like me to terrify them?
Yeah.
Or would you like to find something else?
yeah. I like those inspectors that actually
Care?
Well, yes, those, but
Yeah.
actually give it in a fair, like almost just the facts kind of thing. You know, I really appreciate that the integrity is there. But yeah, I've had one say too.
Yeah.
And because it was a young couple with a baby on the way, and they're like, health and safety. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the best kind. Those are the
Yeah,
best
the
kind.
only perfectly clean ones I've had are ones that have been pre-inspected for the listing, which are usually higher-end homes, and it's a great idea.
Yes.
If you're gonna sell a house, it is a great
I'm a
idea
big
to go
fan of
ahead
those.
and have a pre-inspection. You know what you're up against. You know what needs fixed, and especially if it's already been pretty well maintained. I mean, you know how
Yeah.
well you've maintained your home. Go ahead and have it inspected. See if there's any issues that need taken care of before you sell, and then we don't have any negotiations. Once you get an offer
Yeah.
and accept it,
It should be
you're
accepted.
good to go.
Yeah.
As long as we've priced it right where it's going to appraise, you have basically hardly any process to go through other than if the people are getting a loan.
A financing contingency. Yeah.
And I think it's really smart if you're going to purchase another house before selling, but you need to sell it, but you don't want to put that contingency on there.
Yes.
Well, I would definitely get one then.
That's good advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting a pre-inspection, especially if you're going to buy before you sell.
Definitely worth the money. We're doing it for mom and dad's house.
Because you don't want to be paying 2 mortgages and something comes up on the inspection.
Huge surprise. Yeah. What if you had a faulty foundation or something and you just never knew it?
Right. Or just, I mean, people have leaks all the time and they don't know about it until it falls through their ceiling.
Or they need a new
You know.
roof and they don't know
Right.
about it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
All these things happen. All these things happen. So yeah, big fan of pre-inspections and then sharing those. And I mean, I've been to any number of them where it's like, there you go. Here's the pre-inspection. Here's all the stuff. And it gives peace of mind to the buyers
For a
too.
few $100, you know
Yeah.
exactly what you're dealing
Yeah.
with. You know what we're going to get into.
Yeah.
Makes everybody's job a lot easier. Takes all the guesswork out of it.
2 things. A few $100s, though, can end up saving you. You know, if you fix it beforehand, then there's no negotiating it.
Yeah. If the
Yeah.
buyers come
Yeah.
back and say, okay, we want, $5,000 off the price.
Because buyers are going to
this,
be a
this.
lot more afraid of it, and they're going to want more money for it in case something comes up or XYZ.
Yeah.
So
And if
do
there's
it
no
beforehand.
issues to start with, you're
Yeah, there's
much
no
better
issues
off.
to start with, and it's, yes.
No negotiating.
And the second thing that I was going to say, oh, I definitely didn't just forget that.
Definitely
pretty.
didn't blank out there.
Isn't she pretty?
If a home is pre-inspected, do you still recommend your buyers to get their own inspection?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. 100%.
Me as well.
100%.
Totally up to them, but yes, I would highly recommend it. At the very least, as the agent, I would want to know the inspector and know what kind of work that they
Yeah.
did. If it was somebody that my clients have used all the time and very trustworthy, great reputation,
Then I'd
something
like-
like that.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'd just call and have a conversation with him or suggest that the buyer does.
Right.
But otherwise, you still want to know what's going on your own accord.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of like the whole idea of you having your own agent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And the seller may say, well, we're still not negotiating. You can have your own home inspection, but it's for your own information. And that's fine. Yeah. As long as the buyer's satisfied with the home inspection.
Right.
And make sure your agent is putting that into your contract, right? Like,
Right.
that you have to be satisfied with the home inspections.
Keyword satisfied.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. Excellent. All right, other things that real estate agents want you to know. Let's talk about the legal contract. I mean, the offer, when it's signed, is a legal contract.
It is.
It
yes.
is. It means, and we're not lawyers, but there are consequences to that. So that's why, I always go over, even though it's the most tedious thing for my buyers, exactly what they're signing. And also with FSBOs, like I just had a FSBO this past week. I went over and I presented, so you understand exactly what this says, because they're my customer.
You presented the offer.
I presented the offer to them.
In
right,
person.
In person.
That's awesome.
So, because you need to understand what you're signing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're doing a lot for your buyers there.
Yeah.
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 And as long as everybody's on the same page, everything goes so much smoother.
Right.
If you leave stuff up to people's interpretation, you just, they're not always the same.
Or try and put one over on them. I can't stand that. I mean, it's completely contrary to our code of ethics.
Yeah.
So, but,
Not all agents are built the same.
This is true. This is true. So the legal contract, have you guys had contracts actually just canceled for arbitrary reasons? Well, what we would interpret arbitrary reasons.
That were not reasons in the contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had buyers walk away because they just get cold feet.
Yeah.
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 And it's unfortunate when that happens or when they want to do that, because we're not lawyers. So unfortunately, we have to be like, you
Yeah.
need to contact your lawyer if you want out, because there could be legal repercussions. We don't know exactly what those are, because
No.
it depends on what the seller would go after. But yeah, it's a legal contract. It's not just something that you're signing saying, I think I might want to pay you money for your house.
Yeah.
The sellers could have already.
I'm going to.
Yeah, the
Yes.
sellers could have already moved. They maybe could have got a different price if they had stayed on market. They've got days off of market, months,
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, taking a house off the market and marking it pending and then putting it back on as active gives them a bad reputation.
Everybody thinks there's something
So,
wrong with it.
yes.
No matter what
and
happens.
it could just be that
yes.
the buyers got cold feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Or it could be they had a
financing of the
water leak. They
buyers
had to
could be
take it
in
off for a minute.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
Yeah.
And then they fixed it the right way.
Everybody's going to start looking for reasons what's wrong with the house.
Yes.
They're always, if it comes back on, even if, because I've just had two back to back where the deals fell through, which we were seeing more and more, particularly this past fall. It just seemed that I was like, but it had nothing to do. It was these buyers that had cold feet
yeah.
and just decided to cancel. Now my sellers got to keep the earnest money. It was released because one was canceled at the 11th hour, like we're about to close tomorrow, and
Yeah. I've had that where the buyers, for whatever reason, needed to back out. And I was like, well,
just know.
I would give some of the sellers earnest money because you don't really have a good leg to stand on here.
Yeah.
So if you want them to sign in Ohio, we have the release where it releases everyone of their reliability.
We have in Kentucky too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, and just because you release a contract doesn't mean you're releasing earnest money, right?
that's right.
No, ours has it on there as well.
In the same one.
We have two
So
different forms in
not
Kentucky.
not always are Ohio used to be two separate ones. So just because you release
well,
a contract,
We do have.
you have two different ways to do it.
Well, okay, but the one where the buyers or sellers can release and only one party has to sign, and you have to check mark which contingency the other party did not fulfill, so you are legally allowed to
Cancel the contract.
cancel the contract, and only one party signs it. So that's not actually releasing liability, because if the other party feels like, no, I'm still within our bounds, well, now you have a problem. The other one releases liability and earnest
And
money.
earnest money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just because you get the contract release, say there's some reason that you want out of a contract or you feel like it wasn't fulfilled properly, just because the seller agrees to release you from that contract doesn't automatically give you back your earnest money. They
don't-
have to also agree to give you back the earnest money, or you have to agree to give it to them, or you can have a stalemate, and depending on which state you're in, there's all kind of
Or you
kinds
can
of
do
fun stuff that
50-50.
goes with it. Yeah,
You can split it up.
That's right.
80-20, well, you know, lots of things.
It's kind of like, in many ways, a divorce. You have the divorce, the dissolution of the marriage, but then you have the assets. It's a different conversation, or the kids.
Yeah,
I mean, these are
that's
these are
actually
different
perfect.
It's
Yes.
different conversations. Well, it's contractual law, right?
Yeah.
And marriage is a marriage contract. So, and speaking of the contract, there is this one little thing in there. Time is of
Yes.
the essence.
Always.
Yes, deadlines. Deadlines are so very important, and they are written in there for a reason. And they will mention 3 calendar days. So you have to count. It's not Monday through Friday. It's not business days. It's you get some Friday, then you got to get Saturday, Sunday, Monday is it. So
My favorite is when you get a loser lender that's like, oh, that closing date was just a suggestion.
no.
I've never heard of a contract to have suggestions.
Yeah. I know you didn't go to law school because you're lending money. However, that's not how it works.
not a
even a little bit.
Not
Yeah.
a suggestion. So yes. So time is of the essence. And that goes also, I'm jumping from different little things. Pre-approval. Why is pre-approval an important first step when you're in the home buying process?
So that we know how much house that you can afford and want to buy. So they might,
Very simple.
if you go get a pre-approval for $500,000 and you only want a $2,000 a month payment, and that includes your taxes and insurance,
Yeah.
we're not $500,000 house shopping. They don't
Right.
change the monthly payment for you. We need to adjust what price we're looking for.
I always do enjoy those that have been pre-approved for, like 600,000, but they're looking at houses that are in the $900,000, $800,000 mark. I'm like,
You don't think they'll come down that much?
I don't think they're going to come down that much. So no,
This
we're not
house
going to
just
do
came
that.
on the market. I don't think so.
It's $1
No.
million.
It's $1
We've got
million.
a $600,000 budget. Let's go.
Let's go see it.
It's gonna be perfect.
You
It's
have
gonna be the one.
$400,000 that someone's gifting to you?
Yeah.
Offshore bank account.
Can you give me their number? I'd like to be friends.
And that is
yes.
possible. They could put cash
Yes.
down as well. However, that's not typically the case.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure you're confident with your payment. It's something you can afford. You have to include your taxes and insurance and be able to pay for those as well. So unfortunately, you are responsible for those as a
Yeah.
homeowner.
Yeah.
And you're not, you are kind of wasting our time. Which we don't like
You're
our
wasting
time
their
to be
time. I mean, their
But
time
yes,
is being
and
wasted
the
too.
seller.
the sellers
and the buyer.
You are
Everybody's time is
100%
being
wasting their
wasted.
time, and
Yeah.
especially if the home's occupied,
Yeah.
they do a lot. If you're a good seller when you're selling it, you do a lot to keep your house clean and ready to go to
Prepared.
leave. Yes, and
They might be
especially if
taking
you
dogs
have
with them.
dogs,
Yeah, like an
kids.
hour's notice, and you're
Yeah,
out.
you
put
do a
together
lot to
5
get the
o'clock.
house ready for the buyers.
Yes.
So if you're just wasting their time, it's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
So what we
Yes.
want buyers to know is we want you to be respectful
Yeah.
of the seller, of your agent, of yourself and your own time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you don't have a pre-approval, it's a waste of time because unless you're paying cash for the house,
Right.
even if we've had instances where, you go into a house and you think, oh, of course I could buy this house, no problem. I'll be able to get my loan, no problem.
No problem.
Yeah.
But then there's flood insurance on top of the price.
Right.
Or maybe the house is garbage. It needs a total overhaul. And you can't qualify for that type of loan in that area or something like that.
I've had one buyer that was, very, very good job. Like they could definitely afford a house, But then we looked at one and then they got pre-approved after and they had a hidden, I think it was a medical bill.
Oh.
And I'm not even
they
sure
probably
if it
didn't even
was,
know.
I think it was like an ex-wife's.
Oh, yes.
And,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
And it affected their buying.
Yes.
Yes.
And so
exactly.
it took him a month to figure it out, and that house
Yeah.
was gone. And then,
Oh,
he
man.
was able to be pre-approved. But there could be things that you don't know about
Yeah. That's
on your
right.
credit.
Well,
So-
and you don't want to go fall in love with a house. Like, let's say, hey, you know, this house just came on the market, Liz. I want to go check it out. Okay, I'm happy to take you. But if you fall in love with that house and then we can't get you pre-approved because of an incident you don't know
Yeah.
about on your
Right,
credit,
right.
or you just bought a car yesterday and didn't think about what the difference in your payment
Open a
you
line
know,
of
Yeah.
credit
ability
on
is going to
furniture.
be.
I haven't made a payment yet. I didn't know what it was going to be. I just signed the papers.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to go fall in love with a house and then we can't get it because then we have wasted everybody's time.
Yeah.
So-
And your
Including
own.
yours,
And,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
your own.
including yours.
Yeah.
What about the difference in a pre-approval and a pre-qualification?
I was actually going to bring that up because I just had that conversation with another agent when I received a letter he called a pre-approval, and I said, you know, this is actually a pre-qualification.
Yeah. It should stay on there.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But I think
Sometimes you get banks, you know, you get loser lenders.
So we're back. Welcome back to another episode of Nobody Listens to Liz. So we're talking about what real estate agents want you to know, buyers and sellers. And we were talking about modular manufactured homes and that the inspections are not pass and fail. Let's talk about the pre-approvals. We were kind of talking about that a little bit and stuff. And why do pre-approvals matter?
So that we know how much house that you can buy and you are comfortable with the payment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not wasting anyone's time. Yours, ours, the seller's, anyone's.
Yeah, because the sellers have to get their houses ready, usually on a moment's notice.
They might have to leave. They might have
Exactly.
animals.
Animals, children, kids. Yeah.
Yes.
And-
And I will say, as a total sidebar, sellers, you should leave during showing.
Oh,
yeah.
Please.
That's
leave
something we
during
want you to
showings.
know. Sellers should leave.
Yes.
Yes.
Just had that twice, back to back, and I'm like, I know it's weird.
100% of the time, if a seller is there, my buyer feels extremely uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's awkward.
Yeah, and they're less likely to pursue a house.
Yes.
Last night, showed a house, checked the list, checked boxes of all of the things I thought my buyers were looking for, but it was a for sale by owner, and the folks were there. I mean, it was nice because you got some extra intel about the house.
Yeah,
That's
that part is.
dangerous.
It's
That's
nice.
a dangerous game to play.
It is. It is.
But if you're on the seller
On
side.
the seller side,
yes.
exactly.
But on the buyer side, it's
I know, the
nice.
buyer side, and of course I represent the buyer, so I'm like, tell me more. You
Yeah.
guys-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will.
And they
Yes.
will, and they will. But you know, it's still, and I get it. Particularly with FSBOs, for sale by owners, you know, you have these complete strangers, even if they are accompanied by an agent coming into your home. But we walked out of there, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't know. We like this, but we got a weird vibe from the house." And I'm like, "That's because the sellers were there the whole time." Yeah.
I feel like buyers can't picture themselves in your home when you're there with
That's
all
good.
your stuff.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
have a hard enough time without you there.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
No, that's a good point. Very good point. So yes, please leave. Please leave.
Well, on the seller side too, you do not want to be there because you do not want to be telling them anything about the house that is not printed on that property disclosure for Ohio and Kentucky. Even if you think you're helping, a lot of times you are hindering a sale or hindering the purchase price that you could get. Or, you know, it's just sometimes buyers and sellers don't jive super well, or the personalities don't get along.
Personalities.
You can
Yeah.
kill a deal just because you're there because they don't like you. And that's not discrimination. They just maybe don't like you.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't. You really, it is one of those things. You just kind of like, just go ahead and.
Some people just aren't likable people.
And those people sell houses too.
Yes, they do. Yes, they
They
do.
also buy houses.
Yes, they do.
And unfortunately use agents.
So, all right. So let's
Not
talk.
my clients.
Not your clients.
I've never had one of those.
Never had this. So
Or
let's
five.
talk about the contract. All right. So you put an offer in. It is accepted. You are under contract.
A legal
A
contract.
legal contract.
Legally
Now,
binding.
none of us are lawyers, but let's talk about that contract and how it has consequences, right?
Time is of the essence.
Yes.
Yes.
Within the contract, there are specific dates. There are specific, you know,
Time frames.
Time
Time
Timelines.
frames.
Yep.
Right.
And it'll say calendar days, business days. There's dates that things have to be done. You only have so long for your inspection period. You only have so long to get your clear to close.
In Ohio, if someone sends you a defect notice, you only have so long to respond to that, or now you've agreed to everything on it.
Yeah, automatically.
Yeah. So one thing I do, whether, these people are my clients or a customer kind of thing, like for example, I just had FSBO where I did read the contract. So, you understand these are consequences. We're all on the same page with everything. You need to understand what you're signing. You do need to understand it. If your agent can't explain it, go talk to a lawyer.
Yeah. Yes.
Go seek
We're not
legal advice.
lawyers. And
Yep.
unfortunately, if you decide that you want out of the contract and it's not for a reason that's already accounted for in the contract, we're not lawyers. We cannot advise you on legal matters.
Right.
And you will we'll advise you to go talk to your lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the sellers can, if you're a buyer backing out because the wind changed, the sellers can sue for that, right?
Right.
And we don't know what the implications are because we don't
Right.
know what they're going to be asking
Right,
for.
right.
So you're going to be instructed to go to a lawyer. These are legal binding contracts.
Right, right. So if you're not ready to sign those in there, be aware.
And if you don't understand what you're signing, make sure your agent's going over it with
Ask.
you, or
Yes.
go to a lawyer. No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
make
always
sure you
happy to
know.
explain every single part of the contract.
yeah, yeah.
So just ask.
It is. I mean, what is our contract? Is what 12 pages long?
I lose
involved.
track.
Yeah, it is
fun.
involved, and for a reason, So you understand there's different sections.
Yeah.
So you need to understand.
It's long so that way you're covered.
Right.
But when you don't follow the timelines in it, now you're not covered.
Yeah. Yep. And it is built to protect the buyer and seller,
Yeah.
and that's why we use realtor contracts.
Right.
Because there are real estate agencies that have their own contracts that might
Yeah.
only be a couple pages long, and they
don't
actually
protect
protect anyone.
Hardly anyone.
No.
The agent, the
No.
buyer, the seller, no
The
one.
brokerage, for that matter.
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah.
So I understand like agents hate more paperwork, but I'd rather cover your tail than I would have a 3-sentence contract,
Yeah.
and that doesn't cover anyone or what happens if. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yep. I think these are all good things. Other little things real estate agents want the buyers and sellers to know. We visited this in a previous episode as far as the misconception of needing 20% down. So, things like that.
Yep, there's all kinds of different loan programs, different types of down payments. You can now get a conventional loan with as low as like 5% down, just depends on the lender.
Yeah.
And piggybacking on that, I guess that's the term I'm talking about. The idea of, hey, why pre-approvals matter. The difference between pre-approvals and pre-qualification. You can tell we've had to do this more than once because now I can't remember what we've said.
So what's the difference in a pre-approval and pre-qualification? Leanne?
Pre-approval is like pre-approval light is what
You mean pre-qualification?
a pre-qualification is
Okay,
pre-approval light.
let's do that again.
Yeah.
What's
Pre-qualification
the difference in a pre-qualification and a pre-approval?
is they're not actually, they're just basing on what you're telling them, like
Just a phone call.
Just a phone call.
Yeah.
Like, I make this much, I owe this much on my student loans and stuff like that. There's no way they can confirm and deny this. So they're like, well, based on what you've told me, you're pre-qualified for X amount of dollars.
Yeah. I could get pre-qualified for $1 million.
I mean,
I can't
easily.
get pre-approved for that.
Exactly.
'Cause I could lie.
Exactly. And so that's an important difference. Pre-approval, yes, they are going to pull your credit score and,
verify your employment,
all of those
check
things.
your debt to income ratio.
Yeah.
Yes. But
Pull
they
your
can do that
credit.
really quickly. I mean, that's the
Oh,
thing.
it takes, a good lender less than 24 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to wait. Go ahead and get the pre-approval. Pre-approvals usually last, 90 days?
Yeah.
90 days.
And if you have, it depends on what location you're
Yes,
in, what
it
state
is.
you're in. But also, if you have the pre-approval, it's like, okay, it's the equivalent when you're a teenager to, I've got mom's credit card.
Yeah.
Now let's go shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't buy anything without that mom's credit card, right? But if you've got mom's credit card, you've now got your pre-approval. Now
Right.
we can go shopping because we can prove to that seller we can buy this
We
house
buy
no
these things.
problem. We're ready to go. We know what we can buy. We know how much we can spend. We know what the payments are we're comfortable with. We know what loan program, so we know what the house has to qualify for
Yeah.
as far as like safety issues.
Like as a listing agent, I would never advise my sellers to accept an offer without a pre-approval, proof
Absolutely
of funds
not.
or anything. I would say this would be a great offer, but we need to make sure it's verified before we take your house off the market.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Or if you accept it, they need to get it to you within
a certain amount of
few
times.
days.
Yeah.
And that agent, you've got to trust that agent that they know for sure that it's coming and that
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be for the amount. Because if you take that offer and take the house off the market
Yeah.
and the people aren't actually pre-approved, now what?
Yeah.
Now
then
your
you have that
house-
stigma, right? When anytime you take the house off the market, whether it's, the deal didn't go through because the buyer pulled out or whatever the reason, there is I hate to say it's like a stigma, but
is,
everybody
yeah.
wants to know
What happened?
Yeah.
Something happened in the
Yeah,
inspection.
what's
I
wrong
know
with
it.
the house?
They
Yeah.
assume something is wrong with the
The
house.
house. They don't think that maybe the buyer got cold feet or the financing didn't
work
happen.
out,
Yeah. So, but there's this kind of bias now towards the property that you as the listing agent have to fight, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So those are all good things that we want you to know.
I'll tell you something I really want them to know.
What do you really
And I'll
want them
say
to
this
know?
Lay it
until
on 'em.
I'm blue
Yep.
in the face.
Yes.
I'll tell them again so they listen.
Good. That's good because they're not going to listen to me. Any agent can show you any house that is licensed. Mm-hmm. So
In that state.
you don't
Yeah.
have to call the number on the sign in the yard. You can actually call your friend and they can show you the house. You want somebody working for you.
We're going to make a drinking game out of how many times in these episodes she's going to remind me of that almost mistake I made before I became a realtor and was shopping for
But you
my
didn't
house.
know.
But I didn't know.
And they may not know.
That's right.
Yeah. But
Well,
they're listening, they know now.
they know now.
Get
you
your
better tell
own
'em.
get your own representation.
Yes.
Call the agent that's not on the sign. Call an agent that's not on the sign, and
You know at least 12 of
they
them.
can show you the house.
That's right.
The average person knows at least 12 real estate agents. Think about that. Do you know 12 agents? How many do you know?
Lots and lots and lots and lots.
I mean, I know a lot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's kind of our job.
That's our
you know?
job.
That's our
right?
job to know all of them.
Right. So, well, thanks again for tuning into another episode of Nobody Listens to Liz. If you have some questions or you are interested in what are we going to offer them this week, the Did You Knows?
Let's give them a list, maybe 10, 15 of things did you know?
That's a good idea. So DM us, Did You Know? And we'll make sure you guys get that.
We'll
So
give
you
some
are
facts.
ready to buy or sell.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And if you have any questions, send those too.
Absolutely. Nobody listens to Liz@gmail.com.
Thank you for not listening.
I'm Leah Frederick.
I'm Liz Eric Dykes.
And I'm Sierra Peluso.
We'll see you guys next time.